comments that you want to make along the way. But this training is called Turn Your Posts into Profit. And what I'm actually going to do is walk you through each step in my post to profit system. So it's a 5-step system, and I'm going to walk you through what each of those steps are and give you some context around what each of those steps are so that you can see how you can turn your posts into profit. Now, the reason I named this system the post to profit system is because most of the time I find that people are spending their time on social media and they find that they're not getting a return on investment for the time that they spend online. So what I'd love for you to tell me is, if you're using social media consistently for your business, do you feel that the time that you spend online is profitable? Do you feel like currently you're getting a return on investment for the time that you're investing in what you're doing on social media? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean some people aren't on social media to generate leads. Some people are on social media just to create brand awareness for their business. A lot of people are, however, on social media to generate leads and sales, and in which case that's going to be a direct impact to profitability. But obviously everything you do has got to drive a specific action, right? And it's got to drive an action that you want your audience to take. Now, when I talk about profitability and return on investment for the time that you spend on social media, I did a live stream on Instagram yesterday and I was saying, let's not beat around the bush. We are on social media. We are using these platforms. We are spending and investing our time here because we want it to be a profitable part of our marketing activity and a profitable part of our business activities. So if you are, using your time, let me know in the comments. Is the time you're spending online profitable? If it's not, then you're going to find this really useful to help you turn that around. And I'll share some more at the end of this about my Shine program, which will just help you take that a little bit further. All right, so I'm going to bring in the slides now. Just get rid of that. All righty, so turn your posts into profit. So let's get stuck writing because I've got a call to jump on at 1 and I want to make sure I get through all of this for you. So as I said before, we are spending time on social media to increase the profit in our business or profitability of our business. So we want to make sure that the time that we spend on social media counts. We want to make sure that every hour, every minute, every moment and everything that we do online is that it counts, that we get a return on our investment, and that what we're doing online is a profitable activity for us. So if we break it down, if you're looking at the return on investment for the time that you spend on social media, you're looking at the time versus return. So, if you're spending 5 hours a day, what's the benefit of that? What is it driving for you? And is that profitable? If we, calculate and extrapolate it out, what is the return you're getting for that 5 hours a day that you're spending online? The other return on investment also with social media is the intentional time, is that the time that you spend on social media becomes a lot more intentional rather than just kind of a haphazard approach to, what you're doing online. It also increases your profitability because it drives profitability in some way, shape or form. And as I said, profit's not just leads. Like if you're working on engaging your audience, if you're working on a brand awareness strategy, they are still profitable strategies if it's driving those actions in your business and it's driving your audience to do those things. But having the time that you spend online create a return and increase your profitability means those things. So we want to make sure that every hour that you're spending is valuable for you. It's not just, like scrolling for the sake of scrolling. It's not just engaging for the sake of engaging. It's actually driving real actions. So how do you turn your posts into profit? So I have got a 5-step framework for, now I'm just going to have another little check here because for some reason I can't see any comments coming through on Facebook, but it could be Facebook playing up as well because it does do that sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to keep going because you can always watch this back later. So how do you turn your post into profit? So there's a 5-step framework that I use. I have taught it in my business for 3 years now, and I use it in my own business as well. So it is a tried and true method. It's simple, it's easy to implement, and it gets results. So why does it go wrong? Like, why, if you're someone out there that's not seeing the profitability from the time that you're spending online, where does that go wrong? So there's usually 3 core ways that that's going wrong. And one is that you don't have a strategy. So you just kind of you're just guessing really at what you're doing. You're just kind of going, I'm showing up, I'm doing these things, but I really don't know why I'm doing them. And I don't know what actions they're driving and if it's really worth it. You could be potentially trying to implement a cookie cutter approach. So this is where you get like templated strategies or 5-step, blueprints where it's like you have to do each step in a certain way. And if it's a very cookie cutter approach. So this is where people will sell you something that's meant for everyone to use. And I don't really like that approach. I like to give a framework, but I also like to have nuances in those frameworks that you can adapt to your own business. And every single step that I've got in the Post to Profit system is adaptable for each business, and it teaches you how to adapt it to your business, because you can't have a product-based business and a service-based business, or a product-based business and a course creation business doing the same things. Because you both need to have different strategies in terms of like content, in terms of lead generation, etc. So, cookie cutter approaches where you're just trying to replicate something someone else has done usually doesn't work, because your business model and also what fits with your lifestyle isn't going to be in alignment with that either. The other reason is that it's that kind of spaghetti at a wall approach where you're just like throwing stuff out there and hoping that something sticks, which is also not a long-term profitable strategy, because you want to know that what you're doing is actually working, because once you have a strategy and you know that it's working, then the time you spend online again is going to be very intentional and profitable. So if you don't know me, I know that most of you guys do, particularly those in my Facebook group, because, we've been in there for a while and we've gotten to know each other. But if you don't know me, then I'm Stacey Marie. Nice to see you here. I'm a digital business mentor, and I help women own their own brilliance, shine on social media, amplify their businesses with digital offers, and help them do it without the mum guilt or burnout. I think if any of you know me, you know I'm all up for a simple, easy strategy that's going to be easy to implement, that's going to be in complete alignment with who you are and your business values. And that the way to do that is the benefit of doing it that way means that you don't have that mum guilt or burnout from just trying to keep doing more and more things in your business and not seeing the results you want. Personally, I'm a mum to 2 beautiful girls. I'm a wife. I'm a cat owner. And I'm a country girl at heart. So you'll always find me, somewhere with shorts and a t-shirt or hanging out at the beach rather than with high heels in some fancy bar or something like that. So just like you, my clients have felt the massive challenge of spending countless hours online but not seeing the results in their bottom line. So all the people that I work with all come to me with the same thing, the same challenge is, Stace, I'm doing all this stuff on social media. I don't really know if it's doing anything for my business. I don't know how to, analyze that. I don't know if I'm doing the right things. I don't even know if I've got the right strategy, or I don't have a strategy at all. So all the hours are just adding up and adding up and adding up, and you're not seeing a result to the bottom line in your business, and you're not seeing the results that you want in your business for the time that you're spending. So when I created the Post to Profit framework, it's been called a few different things over the years, and there's been different iterations of it, but the basic steps have remained the same the whole way through. And when I created this framework, it was because I knew there had to be an easier way. There had to be an easier way than long, convoluted strategies and funnels and things like that. There had to be a way that was more efficient, that was more heart-centered and wasn't just a cookie cutter approach that maybe didn't align to you, didn't align to your business, and just wasn't workable in your personal life. Particularly if you're a mum in business, we don't have a lot of time. let's be honest, we're busy doing other things. We've got a family and we've got other things that we need to do in our life. So, the approach that we want to use needs to be aligned, not just to your own values, but what can you actually achieve with your lifestyle and family unit that you've got as well, that you've got to maintain. It had to be a way that gets results, and it also had to be a way that didn't involve a second mortgage on your house, and potentially put you into financial stress from having to invest in something that was just not workable from a financial perspective as well. So that's why we're here. So I'm going to show you the 5 steps in my post to profit system that I've been teaching, as I said, for over 3 years. So this is going to help you increase the return on return on your investment and increase the profitability in your business. So you can do it without burnout, so that you can do it sustainably, so that you can do it profitably, and so that you can let your business shine. So let's start with a few things to not do. I always love to point out things not to do, because people often go, oh, I'm doing that. Okay, I can see here now that there's something maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or show me a better way, right? It kind of gives some tangibility around, oh, I'm doing these things and these things don't work. Okay, so tactics that are not sustainable is thinking that more time equals more profit. So if you're using social media and you are not getting the results that you want, what a lot of people do is they go to start to create more content. They just think that more posts, more reels, more lives, more emails, more time, more engagement is going to equal more profit. But that's not sustainable, right? That's just an absolute fast track to burnout, and particularly to digital burnout. So if you have fallen into the trap of listening to every single expert that's talking about their thing that they think is the right thing to do, like there's always going to be someone out there that's an expert in everything, right? And I'm not saying that they're not great at what they do. 100% of them are. But, if you're listening to someone who's going to tell you Instagram Reels is the only way to grow, or you're going to talk to someone who says having your own Facebook group is the only way to go, or you're going to listen to someone that says do live streams every single day for 30 days is the only way to grow, that's just doing more, right? It's not necessarily driving profit. You want to make sure that the things that you're doing are profitable for you and are driving strategic, valuable actions in your business. Another thing is investing in paid ads as a cure-all. So sometimes when people don't get the results they want from organic marketing strategies, they start to think that paid ads is going to get them out of that little hole that they're in. And that's not necessarily the case either, because if you haven't mastered your organic strategy, then your paid strategy is usually going to be very wishy-washy as well, and you're not going to see the results that you want from your paid strategy either. Cookie cutter strategy, which I've mentioned before, is where you're just taking something and replicating it into your business. It's not something that's designed to be altered. It's not something that's designed to be, stylized or created in a signature way. It's just boom, boom, boom. Everyone can do it. And not everyone's business is the same. Silver bullet tactics. So I talked about some of these in last week's live stream, things like buying followers and, some of these silly little tactics that just, they're listed as a silver bullet, but there's no such thing as a silver bullet to, creating a sustainable, profitable strategy for your social media. And the other one is spaghetti at a wall approach, which is where you're just chucking stuff out there, seeing if it sticks. And if it sticks, you might try and replicate it. Again, that's got no strategy to it, just creates more activity, but not the right activity. And again, all of these things are just a fast track to burnout. So we're going to go through each step in the post to profit system at a time. I'll explain what each one is and give a little bit of context around it, so you can see what it is. All right, so the first one is strategy. Now, strategy is the absolute foundation of everything that you do on social media. What I can also recommend to you guys is I am doing a live stream, a 5-day live stream series on Instagram as well at the moment, where I'm delving into, for about, probably like a 10-minute live stream on Instagram to each step in this. If you're joining this on the replay and you're getting it via email, I'll put links to all of those Instagram videos in the email as well so that you can see them too. And just if you want to have a little bit more context around any of them, you can go to those videos because there's just little short snippets on each step. Whereas in this one, trying to fit this into 45 minutes to an hour for you. So I'm just going to go through the basics of each one. But the first step is strategy. And strategy is so important. Like, strategy gets a bad rap all the time because it doesn't sound like it's an overly sexy thing, right? Like, strategy doesn't sound that sexy because it just sounds like work. But the thing is, when a strategy is profitable and it's making you money in your business, then it is an extremely sexy thing. So strategy is the foundation of the poster profit system, because what we do there is we look at what is your core business objectives. Then we look at the 4 elements of a social media strategy, and the 4 elements are brand awareness, engagement, lead generation, and growth. Now, I do have a couple of other resources you can have a look at to go into what all of those are in detail. I've got the Kickstart free training on my website on my free stuff page, and I've also got episode 55 of the podcast is Build Your Winning 2021 Social Media Strategy, and it goes through each of those elements. Won't go into each of them in detail today, but you can head over and have a look at those if you want to know more about each of those. But out of those 4 elements of a strategy, we pick what is the core element that you need to focus on that drives the actions that you need your audience to take in your business. So do you need to drive leads and sales? Do you need to use your social media to have brand awareness? So maybe you've got other referral sources and you don't necessarily need your socials to drive leads, but you need it to be a strong awareness of your brand so that people can build a relationship with you. So we look at picking out what is that core foundational element of the strategy you need to focus on so that you can drive the right actions on your social media. So the main core things is that it has to be aligned to your business objectives. The strategy that you work on has to drive your audience to take those actions. And also, too, the third thing with your strategy is it gives you clarity and purpose. So if you don't have a strategy, you don't have any clarity and purpose with what you're doing online. And most people tell me as well is that they feel unclear, they feel stuck, they feel like they have no clarity with what they're doing on their socials. And once you create a strategy, you get that clarity. But the strategy's got to come first for you to have that clarity. So without a strategy, your actions are just built on a foundation of hay and sticks. So if we look back to like the story of the 3 little pigs, the pig that house stood up and stood the test of time, that didn't get blown down, was the one built on a strong foundation of bricks. The other 2 got blown down because they were not on a strong foundation and they weren't built out of something that was going to stand the test of time. They were just looking for a quick fix. So we don't want to look for a quick fix with our social media strategy. We want to build a solid foundation for what we're doing online. So that's why strategy is step 1 of the post to profit system. Now, step 2 is content. Content is the queen of social media. I don't say king because we're all successful businesswomen here. We're queens. But content is the queen of social media, right? Even if you're paying for traffic, it's the content on that paid ad that's driving the traffic. It's the content on that paid ad that's driving the lead, right? It's so content is 100% the queen of your social media strategy. Now, with your social media content, there's 3 things it needs to do. It needs to attract people to you and get them to hit follow. It needs to nurture them. Either nurture them on platform to build a relationship with you or get them into your email list where you can nurture them there. And it also needs to help you convert your audience into paying clients as well. So your content needs to do all those things. And that's why it's really important with your content that you have like a three-pronged approach to how you do your social media content. So the first part is having a content strategy. The second part is to having a content plan. And then the third part is content execution. So if you break each one of those down, a content strategy, if we inside the post to profit system, we look at creating content themes, which are like overarching like genres of your content that show up all the time. This is like a theme is where you'll see people have like dogs or cats or their farm or the beach or smoothies or things like that in their content all the time. It becomes like part of their brand as such, and it's things that people kind of get to know you for. Then we look at content pillars. So that's like how you actually share the content. So do you do like behind the scenes content to share your message? Do you use infographics? Are you going to share testimonials? Do you do live streams about certain things, or reels about certain things, or tutorials? Like, how the pillars are the actual pieces of content that you share that spread your larger message to your audience. And then your content execution is the creation of your content. So that's like how you create it. Is it a reel? Is it a live? Is it an IGTV? What sort of content is better in those in those places? Like, what's better for you to put into a reel? What's better for you to do as a live stream? What's better for you to do in a text and image post? What's better for you in stories? And so that you can have that really holistic approach to what you're doing each day and what you're sharing. So how do you execute that content? So if you're scheduling in content, it makes it super easy. If you're scheduling in live streams, if you're showing up on stories, you know exactly what content you need to create, and it's going to be strategic content, and you're going to be able to execute it really simply and easily week in, week out. One thing I'll say is that with my system, the goal is, and this has always been my goal, is to get people's time they spend on social media, like their content creation, down to 1 hour a week. So we work on like a monthly overview planning system and then a weekly creation system. And then you just need to jump in intentionally like every day or so and do some engagement, and you're done, right? This saves you time, guys, to have this really pragmatic way to approaching your content, to having those three things, having a strategy, a plan, and an execution to your content. Because without it, you won't connect with your audience, right? And because your content is the queen and the cornerstone of your social media presence, you need your content to connect with your audience. So you need to have a clear, like client-centric, heart-centric content strategy that's totally in alignment with you and your brand and your business. And that's going to help you connect with your audience. It's also going to help make sure that you don't need to pay for paid traffic. I don't believe that you need to pay for paid traffic. If you want to invest in paid ads, it's obviously going to help you grow, but you can 100% be successful with organic marketing on social media. So having a really clear content strategy and plan means that you can avoid having to invest in Facebook ads for potentially most of your business life. And it will drive the actions that you need your audience to take as well. So content is absolutely the queen of social media. And apart from your overall social media strategy, your content strategy is the next most important thing. Because without having a really clear-cut content strategy, you're not going to be able to drive sales or profit or traffic or any of those things, because your content is what speaks to your people. All right, the third step in the post to profit system is to manage. So this is kind of like the business part, of your social media presence. This is where we get down to business. So we're looking at like managing the assets of what you do online and your online profiles. So in this part of the post to profit system, we're looking at making sure you've got fully optimized profiles, so that when someone lands on your Instagram bio or on your Facebook page, that they're going to know who you are, what you do, and how they can work with you, right? And making sure that those profiles are like totally schmick and are optimized with the right tabs, with the right links, so that you make it easy for people. Like, we need to make it easy for our people to do business with us. If it's hard for people to determine who you are and what you do and how they work with you, it's going to be harder for you to convert them when we get to the sell part of the system, which is next. So we need to make sure all those bits are optimized. So this is where we're looking at, optimizing your bio, optimizing your tabs on your Facebook page, making all your sure your links are all up to date, that they're all working, that they're all displayed nicely in a way that makes sense for people, and really making sure that that business asset of your pages is working. The other aspect of manage as well is batching, scheduling, and repurposing content. So, making sure that when you're creating content that you are doing it in a way that's going to be super easy for you, right? So that you can batch up content, so that you're not having to create on the fly every single day. Scheduling your content is something I highly recommend. Scheduling becomes a part of your life. And then repurposing content, because if you're creating 5 to 7 posts a week for your social media and potentially doing lives or reels or other things, you want to be sharing that elsewhere. So whether we look at sharing it across into other platforms that you're not utilizing, like maybe LinkedIn or something, or we look at, taking live stream content like this and putting it into shorter videos that you could share onto like IGTV or into Instagram Reels and stuff. Like, how can you take what you've already got and repurpose it? Even as simple as putting social media posts into your emails, to your email list, because the thing with organic reach is it's so low, most people don't see it the first time. So how can you make the most of what you're creating on the front line, and turn it into a really workable system? That means that you don't just have to keep creating more content, that you're creating core content, not more content, and that core content then serves a real purpose for you and saves you time. So without this, you're doing more work. You're also asking your audience to do more work, particularly if your profiles aren't optimized. You're spending more time online, because if you're creating content for every single platform and it's different everywhere and you're just trying to do more for more platforms, it's not going to work. So to give you an example is, I'm about to embark on a Pinterest strategy, right? So I am meeting with someone this week to talk about the Pinterest strategy for my business. Now, I'm not going to be creating new content for that. I'm just going to be repurposing stuff I've already got. Like, I'm going to be paying to outsource it. Like, we might have to optimize some images and things like that, which is totally fine. But it's like, okay, I'm not going to go and create new stuff. I've already got so much content. Let's go into that catalog, because there's a lot of it there, and share that across somewhere else. And the other thing too is, if you don't manage this stuff well, it does diminish your strategy, particularly with the whole batching, scheduling, and repurposing of content piece, because it will diminish your strategy because you've got to spend more time creating more content. And then that diminishes from your strategy because you're only focused on doing more, not doing the core things that you need to do. All right, so now we get to step 4, which is sell. So this is where it starts to look very sexy and very attractive, because obviously the sell part is where you're actually driving profitability and leads and sales from social media. So the key to selling on social media is, so the core thing with selling on social media is this: get them off your feed. Right? For you to sell something to somebody, you need to get them off your feed. So particularly if you're using Instagram and you want to send them to an outbound link, you can't do that in a post, right? You've got to send them off your feed. They've got to get into your bio link, maybe get into a DM with you, and ultimately send them into your funnel. People don't get their credit card out and pay on social media, right? Obviously, paying on platform is available in some shops on Instagram. Not all. The whole Commerce Manager hasn't rolled out that way yet, but obviously pay on platform is coming. Even in some events on Facebook, that people can pay for events online now. So being able to pay on platform is definitely coming to the entire space at some stage. But for most people, you need to get people on your website to be able to buy stuff, right? Or you need to get them into a funnel for them to buy from you. So the key to selling on social media is to get them off your feed. So the two core ways you do that is you either utilize DMs and get them into a conversation with you, or you get them into your funnel in some way. So this is where I find people usually overcomplicate this process. And I think that the online business world has definitely contributed to that, in the sense that, you know, with all these fancy online funnels and, you know, click funnels and all those things, and I'm not saying they don't work, because they 100% do, but for a lot of business models, people are trying to overcomplicate it and sometimes trying to over automate it, and it's just not working for them. So some examples of, you know, where you would send people would be to, like I said, DM you and have a conversation. Maybe they need to fill out an inquiry form so you can collect some data from them. Maybe they need to book in a free chat with you. Maybe they need to download your email opt-in, and then you can nurture them on your email list. Maybe they need to download your lead magnet. You know, maybe if you're selling courses, that you might have a free training that they can download, and then you upsell them your course from there. It's going to look different for everybody, but most of the time I find people overcomplicate this. So if I can give you an example of someone I've been working with one-on-one, and she sells consults of various different lengths and times and packages and that sort of thing. But the thing she sells is consults, one-to-one consults. That's it. She doesn't have courses, she doesn't have digital products, she doesn't have physical products or anything like that. So we sat down and worked out that the three things she needed to drive for the sell component of her strategy was drive DMs, so getting people to DM her on platform and start a conversation, because for her, conversations equal conversions. The more people talk to her, the more people book in with her. So sending people to DMs was a really simple one for people that don't want to go off platform. The second one was setting up like an automatic booking for a free call. So, you know, set aside a couple of times a week where you're going to be available for free calls. Set that up in an online booking service like Calendly or Acuity or something like that. So you don't have to do it manually. It saves you a lot of time. They can just book in with you. And the third one was an inquiry form on her website. So the three places she sends people, because they're the three places that she creates a conversation, can talk to them about what they need, and then determine what consult that they need to book, right? Now, she doesn't need to go and create fancy click funnels or anything like that to do that. And all of those things can be done for free. Like, she doesn't even need to buy any expensive tech to create her selling system. It was just knowing where to send them, and then obviously crafting really good CTAs that would drive people to those three core places where they would interact with her. Hey, Mel, listening while you cook lunch late. Yay, I love to hear that. Cool. So obviously that's going to look a little bit different across different business models. Like an e-commerce business, their core thing is just drive traffic to that website, because that's where people make purchases. If your business is based on online courses, you probably going to want to put people into a specific funnel for that specific course. You know, if I look at my business, it's very layered. Like, some of my funnels go from download a freebie, buy a digital product, and then I upsell them a course or something from that. But the point with your selling system is, I always say, it has to be signature. It has to be signature. It has to be unique to your business. It has to be client-centric, because you want to be sending people to the most logical place where they're going to convert into a paid client. And the other aspect of the sell part is, it's not just always about driving actual client leads and client sales. Sometimes it's about driving email subscribers as well, because that's also where you're going to build a database where you can sell to people too. So particularly for those people that might have like a brand awareness strategy, driving email opt-ins is a great incorporation in the sell part of their post to profit system, because they're not necessarily using social media to get paid leads, but they can use social media to grow that aspect of their business. So the thing is, and I've got a spelling mistake there, but that's meant to say fan club. So the thing is, without a selling system, you're just building a fan club online. That's all you're doing. If you don't have a system of how you're going to lead your audience to how they can work with you, then you're just building a fan club. You're just building people that are following you and engaging with you, and they're not translating into profitable clients for you. So your selling system is there to lead them to how they can work with you, but it just needs to be a lot simpler than what most people think it is. And probably the other thing I would say is you need to actually have one. So one of the other things I see have people say to me is, well, I'm doing all this stuff online, but I'm not getting any sales from it. And it's like, you haven't actually asked for a sale. You know, where do you send people to buy from you? You know, like it's definitely the system's got to be client centric and, you know, and all those things, but you need to actually have one as well to get the results. All right, and then the last step in the poster profit system is grow. Now, I did do a free training last week that was called Hit Go on Your Growth. And that went through like 3 core aspects of growing on social media, which was organic, paid, and collaborative. Inside the poster profit system, we go a little bit deeper again, right? And we peel back a couple of more layers on that onion. So once you've got all of those other 4 steps in place, if we go back and remember what they were in terms of all your steps, we had step 1 was strategy. So building that those foundations for what you're doing on social media. So your strategy. Step 2 was your content, which is the queen of what you're doing online. Your content's the cornerstone. It's how you connect with your audience. Step 3 was to manage, so to really look after those business assets so that they're working for you. And then step 4 was your selling system, so that you can, you know, lead people into your funnels and have them turn into paying clients and actually grow a profitable business from social media, particularly for those that need to use social media to drive leads and sales. So once you've done those 4 things, we can look at step 5, which is starting to grow. Now, as a bit more of a layered approach to the Hit Go on Your Growth, which was just really talking about gaining followers, this looks at business growth as well as social media growth, because you want the growth that you're achieving on social media to actually translate into growth in your business. So once you've done those 4 things, you can start to look to scale out and grow. Now, if you started to try and grow before you had a strategy, before you had amazing content, before you had everything, you know, all your business assets that you've got online set up properly, before you had a workable selling system that worked, if you tried to start to scale out and grow before you had all those things, the wheels are going to start to fall off, because you can't grow effectively without a good strategy. You can't grow effectively without good content. You can't grow effectively if you don't have optimized profiles that people can then, you know, find how they work with you next. You can't grow effectively if your selling systems don't work, because things are going to start to fall apart and the wheels will fall off. So that's why grow is step 5, because we want to make sure we've got all those other foundations there. So once we've done those 4 steps, then you are looking at growing with strong foundations, with a strategy that works, and in ways that will actually be profitable for you and also achieve business growth. So that's what the selling system is there for. Now, the things that we look at in the poster profit system is things like influencers, Facebook groups, collaborations, email marketing, and paid ads. So we do go a lot deeper into growth, other than just gaining more followers. This is strategic things you can do on social media that will contribute to growth in not just your audience, but also in your business as well. Without a good strategy for this, you're just going to stagnate. And you're not gonna be moving that needle forward. So it's going to reduce your profitability, and you're going to then start to revert back to spending more time doing more things rather than not doing the things that are important. So we've been through the 5 poster profit steps. So how do you use this system then in your business? How do you use this system in your business week in, week out, month in, month out to drive profitability and to have a return on the investment that you're spending online? So the thing is that what you want to do when you're using this system is you want to make sure that you're creating a solid strategy that's sustainable and workable, that you're creating processes that are easy to implement, and most of all, that it's driving profitability for you. And we want to do this without spending more time online than you already are, because the idea is for you to get a return on the investment of your time, not to spend more time trying to do more things. All right, guys, I'm gonna have a drink of water. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to my Shine program. Now, if you joined me for Hit Go on Your Growth, you would have heard about this program last week as well. But this program is my group mentoring container for small business owners that helps them turn their followers into fans and post into profit with my foolproof process to shine and sell on social media. Now, unlike other courses, Shine is a little bit different. It kind of actually blends the three ways that you would normally learn. So there's online learning, which is totally choose your own adventure and self-paced. There's group mentoring, where you have access to me in the group format with other people in the group. And there's also one-to-one support, some included and some optional, to help you level up and shine online. So this will sound very familiar to you because this is what we just spoke about in this training. So inside of Shine is the complete mapped out framework for post to profit. So step 1 is creating your wildly successful social media strategy. 2 is soul-led, purpose-driven content that resonates with your people. It also includes all of the how-to guides, like how to create a reel, how to do this, how to do a live stream, how to optimize your services page on your services tab on your Facebook page, how to craft a caption, how to use hashtags. Like, all the how-tos are there, not just the strategy. Step 3 is manage. So this is the business of your social media assets. And inside of that, you've also got my content repurposing and recycling system. It's a Trello system. You don't have to use Trello for it. It's just built out on Trello, but it shows you the strategy and the way to recycle and repurpose your content. Sell, so this is the selling system that we spoke about, and it goes through how you create that. And then if you need extra support with that, that's where the group sessions come in. So our Zoom coaching calls are great for that, and also to your one-on-one upgrades that you can access as well if you need extra support with your selling system. And then Grow, which is getting more eyes on your business with a successful growth plan. And once you've gone through all of those, then the whole point is that they're there to help you truly shine. So as I said, it's a 3-tiered learning approach. So there is self-directed learning, there is support-based learning in group format, and there's also some one-to-one support as well included. Now, what you get inside of Shine is my post to profit system. You get regular workshops and guest masterclasses. Now, inside the group, we do run regular workshops. I just ran the DigiDiva workshop in there, and we do regular masterclasses. I also get guests in as well to do masterclasses. So you get the system, you get the library of previous workshops and masterclasses, plus access to all the new ones that will come up. You get 3 monthly support events. So there's a co-working session, a content planning session, and a Zoom coaching call each month. And you also get a Facebook community of friends, plus I do jump in and do lives and stuff like that in there as well. Now, the price for Shine is $555 or 3 payments of $188. And the thing I will probably point out the most is that you get access to the Facebook community for the lifetime that I'm running the program. So you buy in once, you get access to the system, you get access to any of the updates, plus you get access to the Facebook group and the member events each and every month. So you pay once and you stay forever. You also get over $500 worth of digital products. So if you're someone that needs the how-to taken care of, there is social media image templates, social media style guides, metric trackers, Trello systems, and much, much more to help you truly shine. Now, here's a couple of things that are very different to any other courses I've run before. So the first thing is I offer a free one-to-one clarity call with me. It's a 30-minute call, which is worth over $200. And it's to help you define your unique strategy, how to best use the Shine system, and to get clear on what your next steps are. So that 30-minute call really helps you flesh out, okay, here's the strategy that I need to use for my social media. What do I need to do now to implement that? What parts of the Shine system do you need to tap into, and then get clear on the next steps that you need to take? What are the most important monthly events that you need to attend, etc. And then you can access optional one-on-one with me whenever you need it via Zoom sessions or Voxer mentoring, and you get a members discount to access those whenever you need to. Now, the other thing that's a bit different with this program, which I've never done before, is a 14-day money-back guarantee. So the way that works is that if in 14 days you decide that Shine is not for you, you can cancel. There's no proof of work required. I'm not going to ask for you to show me that you've logged in. I'm not going to ask that you show me workbooks that you've completed. The reason I've got it there is because sometimes people think that a program is the right thing for them, and then they get in and they go, oh, this isn't actually what I thought it was. Maybe it's not the right learning style for you, and that's totally okay. I don't believe in keeping people locked into something that's not right for them. So I trust you to be a smart person that knows what's right for you, and I don't believe in keeping people in things that they don't want or that they need. That just feels ick to me. So the 14-day money-back guarantee is there to support you. But at the end of the day, I do trust that it is so good that you're going to want to hang around anyway. So here is some testimonials of people that were in my social collective, which is the first iteration of this program. People that have come in and absolutely loved their journey with this system and with this learning model as well. So what you need to do to get your spot secured is you can register in the link in the comments above. It's in there now, so you should be able to access that now. Also too, if you're on my mailing list, you'll get the replay, which will have the link in it as well. Once you purchase, you get instant access to the members area, so you can get stuck into it straight away. And you also get instant access to our online Facebook community, where we are ready and waiting to welcome you in. Now, just to reiterate to you, this is stuff that I've been teaching for 3 years. This is tried and true strategy, tried and true methods that work. And when you implement this stuff, it creates more time, more money, more clients, less stress, and less overwhelm in your business. So if you're up for that, we are up to have you in there. Now, some final words, which is a really cool quote that I love, which is the strongest action is for a woman to love herself, be herself, and shine amongst others she never thought she could. And honestly, I think sometimes for us to put our stake in the ground and say, this is who we are, this is what we're here to do, and we are ready to, just show the world who we are, is a total act of courage for a lot of us. And I 100% respect you guys showing up for your businesses each day. And should you choose to join the Shine program, it is a true investment in your future. And I know that, it is an act of courage to do those things. So good on you. All right. So you can watch out for your emails if you're on my mailing list. If you're watching this on the Facebook page, it will be pinned to the top of the page for a few days. If you're in the Facebook group, it'll be pinned to the announcements and then popped into the guides section of the group for you, so you can review it at any time. But if you've got any questions about the Shine program, please feel free to DM me. Happy to chat anytime. And for those of you that join, I cannot wait to see you shine. Now, I'm just going to pop that out and just say a final goodbye. I have to go, guys, because I've got another call to jump on, but please feel free to comment below anything you want to know, or if you've watched the replay, follow along and comment as you go. If you've got any questions about Shine, please feel free to shoot me through a DM and let's chat. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.